Welcome everybody to this incredible webinar on HealersFest 2016. We're super excited that you're all here to join us to hear all about HealersFest. We're going to jump straight into getting into the interesting aspects of HealersFest. Everything you need to know is going to be answered on this call. I'd love to introduce Angie Johnsey, for those who haven't met Angie before. Angie, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm so glad you were able to take the time out of your day and just tune in and hear what we have to say about HealersFest. We're very excited about it.
Excellent. Well, for those who don't know me, I'm Matt Riemann, and obviously Angie Johnsey you just met. We are the facilitators of HealersFest, and I'd love just to jump into what HealersFest is to start with. I'm sure a lot of you here don't know what it's about. It's a very new concept, and we're super excited to share about it with you. So Angie, would you mind just sharing a little bit about HealersFest? What is HealersFest, and whatever comes to mind for that, and we can talk a little bit about that for a few minutes.
Okay. HealersFest is kind of been in the works for a little while, but we just had our very first one. And it's a gathering of like minds together who are interested in expanding their gifts as well as their consciousness. So it's an environment that we bring everyone in together who are interested in learning about their own spirit, about healing the mind, healing emotional stuff, healing, or just expanding and knowing more about what's out there, about the unseen. So we're just gathering people together so that we can come into this very safe place where we support each other, and we feel very free to talk to each other about the things that interest us and our passions. And it's just very nurturing, and we're so excited about just building up the community. We're just getting started, and we wanted to have this webinar to explain exactly what HealersFest is so that you could get just as excited about it as we are.
Beautiful. Thanks, Angie. And HealersFest has been described so far as a transformational gathering of healing minds. And as Angie shared there, it's really a safe space to ask all the questions that you have about healing, about spirituality, about anything to do with the weird and wonderful, taboo or woo-woo topics that exist out there, to share experiences together in a community that will end up as family for you, to help validate your gifts and to be alongside healers who are very experienced, healers who have been down the walk or the journey ahead of you often or next to you on your journey, and to help validate your gifts and to help you confirm exactly what it is that you're doing, exactly what it is that you see or hear or feel or know. And it's such an important way and such an important time to be able to come together in a community like this so that we can all really come together for the purpose of serving humanity. That's why we're all here. And healers from all walks of life is what HealersFest is for, from all levels of healing experience, those new to healing, those curious about learning and exploring their gifts and abilities, or those who are seasoned healers are looking to connect with a community to grow and expand in their consciousness and go and expand in a conscious healing community. But it really is just that safe and powerful space where like-minded souls come together and help you grow in knowledge, in wisdom, help you experience and validate, as we said, help consolidate and confirm really who you are and where you're at on your journey. And that's really why we're here. It's the community that most of you guys are probably here, been searching for. It's why you're listening. If this isn't for you, we'd love you to share it with people. Everybody's got friends who are interested in lots of things that are a little bit outside of the normal conversations. For those who know me, I'm very practical in science and medicine and in the left brain side of things, but also have been very lucky to be gifted with many different extrasensory abilities, if you like, and I'm really passionate about sharing those with the world and making sure that we can bring together a community of people who exist in the more of the unseen world and the powerful nature that lies there for us to be able to help humanity. So it's really, the HealersFest is the start of the framework, if you like, that's necessary for helping master and grow your healing skills and really be in a space and place of a strong community and family for that. So that's a little bit about what is HealersFest from our end. I'd also just love to maybe at this time, Angie, just share a little bit about why we're doing this. Like, why is HealersFest happening? Can you just share a little bit about what we're doing here at the moment?
It's really for support and for helping you expand and grow. I like what you said about being curious. Like, no matter what level you're at, whether you're just curious or you feel like you just have this calling into this bigger thing and you don't know what it is and you have no really idea how to get there, but you know that it's something bigger than you. And that's where I found myself like years ago. And so whether you were like me and have spent years just doing your own thing, going, just searching and looking for yourself and kind of struggling and looking through, there's so much content out there and it can be so overwhelming. And so part of what Healers Fest is about is to gather us all together so that we can share, we can exchange what we know, we can exchange our experiences. We can say, oh yeah, well, when I felt that, this is what happened, and you did too. And it kind of helps to validate each other and to say, you know what, I'm not crazy. It's like you said, it's a safe place to come. And so why we're doing this Healers Fest is so that we can come together and compare notes. And for those who are curious, we can help expand their minds. Maybe you're 3 years down the road from where someone who's just starting out, and you can help fill in a lot of blanks for them. And you can also encourage them, weigh it with your own, what feels good for you, and make this spiritual path unique for you. Because there's a lot of people say, no, you just follow this, and this. But what we want to do is encourage you to grow in your own knowing, in your own intuition, so that you can know the path for you. So it just provides the structure, the safety, the community. So we're doing this because we're excited about it and we're passionate about it. And it's something that we love to talk about all the time. And how fun is it to get together with other people who really like to talk about it and to really study it and dig into it. So it's for support, it's for fun, it's for a lot of different reasons. It's for selfish reasons. Like, I love to be surrounded by people like me, because I live in Alabama, and not knocking Alabama, but minds are not as open as some other parts of the world and country. And it can be very religious based, and there's not a lot of conversations out there that I can have with people here that I know, and my friends even. I couldn't talk to them about a lot of the things that I do. They don't even know what I do, most of them. So just to have that, the relationships and the friendships, and to be with people who get you, it's priceless, really. And so that's why we're doing it.
Thanks for sharing those beautiful words, Angie. It's certainly important for people to hear and understand that, because there's so many times and so many experiences that we have in our lives where we can't feel like ourselves. We can't share with our family. We can't share with our communities. The real us. And this is such a safe space. We've both Angie and myself had incredible experiences at the place that we hold Healers Fest. It's in the beautiful Ozark Mountains in Missouri, actually, of all places in the world. And it's a beautiful Native American healing community that exists there, with very, very powerful shaman that absolutely love having our company there. We're very close with them, and Jim, who runs it, is a very close part of Healers Fest, and they're excited to be running this with us. Coming up, this is September 9 to 11 is the next Healers Fest, just in case you're wondering on the dates. And it's the Ozarks is such an energized space spiritually. It's such a very, very powerful connection, and it really is a space that helps amplify your gifts. And it's a lot of the things that we talk about is being in the right environment, or the right location, being in a space where you can really feel connected. You can really help your extrasensory abilities and extrasensory experiences and senses come into play and come into light, which is why we really choose to have it in the middle of the Ozarks, just in case you're wondering. And so that's something that we're really big on. It's something that we're really facilitate. I know that a few of the people on this call have actually been there recently with us for the very first Healers Fest that we had. And hopefully, I'm sure you guys can speak quite highly of the place and the space that's there. So that's something that's really important for us. I know that when we're there, we experience so much, but even after we finish there, there's the experience continues. I like to see it as it's a big connection that we are able to achieve, and an opening or an expansion of our consciousness that then opens up a lot of new understanding for us. It expands our mind so that we can actually conceptualize a lot of things and download a lot of subconscious or extra activity into our conscious minds, and be able to process that and have that show up in our reality afterwards. I'm just wondering, Angie, would you mind just sharing maybe your experiences as to what you've been able to have, or what's shown up for you after you've been to the Ozarks and these sorts of experiences? I'd love to just, if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about that with people.
Absolutely. the land there itself and the people hold a very special energy. And as Matt said, this energy is like an amplifier. So the gifts that you already have and possess, but maybe they're just kind of under the surface, or maybe you've been practicing with them and trying to expand them or whatever. When you get here on this land and you're surrounded by the Ozark Mountains and you're on this very special native property, it opens up your mind in a way that you can see more, you can feel more. It depends on what your gifts are. If you're more visual, if you have clear audience, or whatever your gifts are, it's almost like they're magnified. So some of the things that happen to me is usually when I'm there, I will have visions or dreams. The last time I was there, I saw, sometimes when I do healing work, and I have my eyes closed when I'm doing healing work, I'll see like a human eye looking back at me. So when I was there at the Ozarks the last time, I was in a meditation and I had my eyes closed and I saw an owl eye staring at me. It was just half the face. Couldn't even see all the face. I could just see half a face and one eye, but I knew definitely it was an owl. And then found out that Jim, the shaman there, has something in the earth that is shaped like an owl eye. So it's the land connects with you and it connects with your gifts and it opens them up. I also had an extremely powerful happening in the teepee, of course, during one of our meditations where I could just feel, it's a space I've touched in meditation before. It's a physical sensation that kind of comes over your body, and your body just starts to feel very thick and expansive, but you kind of go within your body. That started happening there. I've touched that space briefly and then it would just fade away. I could never hold on to it. But in this meditation, I felt this completely take over my body, and I stayed in it for, I know, at least 15 minutes. I was leading the meditation and wasn't able to finish it because the feeling was so intense and I didn't want to lose it. So this space where I could only touch it before, when I came into this land and this energy of the people, and also being surrounded by the like minds that were around me. I know that the energy of the participants in HealersFest and Matt and all of that, you know, had something to do with how I was able to hold the space. But it was just amazing. It was amazing. If you want to have an experience, if it's going to happen, it can happen in this space. And that's why we chose this property, because my first trip there, I really had a lot of visions and dreams that happened. And when we were talking about, you know, where would we, if we were wanting to help people expand their minds and their consciousness and really experience their gifts, where on earth would be a great place? And of course, Matt, I've not traveled as much as Matt has, but Matt's been everywhere. He's been to the rainforest. He's done it all. So, but this was it. This was the place we wanted to have it, because it just opens you up so much. So I encourage you, if you're curious, if you've had experiences, if you're wondering what's possible for you, just come. Let's see what happens. And holding you in this space, it just gives you a greater chance to have those experiences than you may normally have just in your regular environment.
Beautiful, Angie. Thank you for sharing that personal experience for you. And this is probably leads us into the next conversation about what should people expect at HealersFest. Obviously, you've just shared a personal journey or personal experience that you've had there. What should people expect? Like, what's the intention that we're having? What things are involved in HealersFest? How does it work? Like, talk us through. This is a 3-day event for people who don't know this. It's running September 9, 10, and 11, coming up in a couple of months' time in the Ozarks, and we're super excited to be able to share this personal time with you. This is where we get to actually hang out with you guys in person. You get to hang out with me and Angie, other shaman and other powerful healers that are there, and create this beautiful community, this new family that you'll have. Angie, would you be able to share us, like, what do we expect at Numinatus HealersFest? What should we expect at HealersFest, or what should people who come expect to experience while they're there?
You can expect, one, to make new friends while you're there. and meet new people. You'll also be led in many meditations. We also have Sweat Lodge. I don't know if many of you are familiar with the practice of Sweat Lodge, but it's a very powerful native tradition of going into Mother Earth and going in. It's almost like a rebirth. You go in and leave. It's an emotional healing. They use this practice, Jim and Laura do at Red Road. They do this, they treat people with addictions. So it's very good for emotional release and spiritual growth as well. So you'll have some Sweat Lodge experiences. You will have healings where you get to experience healing or you get to practice healings. Am I leaving out anything?
I think I'll probably add to this. Let me add a little bit of a different dimension as well to this conversation. So,
Okay.
Just so that people can be very prepared for what's coming. I want to make sure that you guys are ready to be here if this is for you, because you're going to leave. You're going to come and leave hopefully with a very open mind, a very expanded mind, a very open heart. So be prepared to expect a lot of deep connection, a lot of intriguing conversation. Maybe beyond the realms of what you've currently been in conversation with. Maybe you already like intriguing conversations about all things, and that's where we kind of like to delve into. A lot of divine experiences where connection with spirit and connection with other spirits that are there, and also amazing transformation. Everybody who's been on HealersFest has certainly had a transformation, personal transformation of themselves, and that's our intention, that everybody leaves with an amazing transformation for themselves. So we're really like returning to what we talk about as the core of nature. We've got these powerful native shaman that are there with us. We're going to be camping under the stars in teepees with open fires, middle of beautiful Ozarks. We'll be sharing stories and we'll be learning lots of great things. We'll be enjoying journeys and songs and dance with each other. We'll be going through obviously the Sweat Lodge experience. We've got a lot of different things, like different healing modalities that we're going to be going through and teaching, as well as experiencing. It's really an experiential time. It's not just to sit there and listen to other people talk. It's get in and feel and do and learn and consolidate and validate. Very different healing modalities. Feather healing for the native shaman, which is extremely powerful. Learning all these sorts of things, a lot of different perspectives. If you're a healer already, to add into your own practice. We'll be going on guided meditations and group hypnotherapy sessions and all these great things, to do with plant medicine, mind, body, soul. A lot of functional group discussions and workshops, a lot of applied learning experiences. We're going to be talking about lots of different things in the fields of the mind, emotional intelligence, a lot of things about our physical body, about the actual environment and connection with nature that's there. It's an extremely powerful place, as we talked about. We'll be covering conversations in ancient wisdom and healings, a lot of things about universal knowledge and metaphysical worlds, extrasensory experiences, a lot of energetics and how we use that, spirituality, divinity. We'll be talking about things and experiencing some things with time and space, future of humanity. All these different things is what you can expect at HealersFest. So it's a very mind-expanding experience and a heart-opening experience, and that's what we're really wanting to make sure that you guys are ready for and prepared for, because it's incredible. And I don't know if we'll have time, but I know there's a few people on this call who've been and had incredible experiences in that space. So be prepared. This is for people who are really looking for that, looking to experience it, looking to connect at the next level, to be around a new family of people. And this is really a family for life of people that you hear. There's only 25 places, guys, just so that you're aware. That's why I want to have this call. This isn't something we're putting out to everyone and anyone. We just got 25 people that want to have a very close, tight-knit experience and community that we're starting to grow. And we're really excited that you guys are here listening to this, either live or on the replay. And we hope that you can join us. You'll see on the right-hand side of this replay where you can find out more about HealersFest. That'll take you to a page where there's an application form that you can fill in. And the reason for the application form is because we're wanting to make sure that the community that is joining us and walking alongside of us is the right community, in the right here for the right reasons, at the right place and time, so that we can help guide them in the right ways, and we can all be on this incredible journey together. Want to make sure if you're at HealersFest that the people next to you are going to be family, and that's why we have the application process, just so that you know. So please go ahead and click that link if you haven't done it already or after this. Otherwise, you can go to numinatus.org/HealersFest. That's numinatus.org/HealersFest. and you can go and check that out and apply if you're listening to the replay and you haven't got the link for any particular reason. So that's really a little bit more about what you should expect at HealersFest and what it's all about. That's, there's lots to kind of take in there. I know it's a pretty full-on 3 days and a fairly mind-blowing experience, I think would be fair to say, for all those who've attended. Speaking of those who've attended, Angie, I'd love to just maybe throw that over to you for now. Like, who is HealersFest for? Can you talk to us just briefly about who should actually come, or who is it for?
Well, yeah, I think it's much of what we mentioned earlier about it, whatever level you are, if you're feeling, from the curious to the advanced. Some people have had people say, yeah, well, I've been studying this and this and this and this for years. Why would I come? It's like, come for, if nothing else, come for the support, and maybe you can support and encourage other people who are on their paths, or if you're curious and you're just starting out and you're just feeling called, come. If you want to see what your gifts are, if you want to explore them, if you want to be around a group of people who can validate your experience and say, yeah, I felt that, and be like, this is what it means when you feel this, and you get so much clarity and you get so much validation. So I would come if I'm in that spot. If you're looking for people to connect with who enjoy these conversations, I would come. Like, I don't know why you would not come, but yeah. So from any level that you are on the spiritual path, some people are just now kind of getting curious in it and waking up and being like, well, is there something more? Come and find out. There is something more, trust me. Or if you're a guru yourself, like, come, like, be with us. You hold an energy. If you've been practicing this stuff for a while, you're able to hold a presence and an energy that can help amplify and help those who are just starting out along their path. Like, it can help open them up quicker if we can all come together and collectively hold a higher energy and a higher space for them, which hopefully, I hope that, as we're growing, that's what this becomes, like this great force that we become. And when people who are curious and seeking come into this circle, come into this HealersFest, it's like, it's almost like bringing heaven down to them. It's like, oh my God, it is real. This isn't something I'm imagining. And all these things I was curious about and wondering about, it is for real. And it's a feeling, it's an experience. So just come for your own expansion, for expanding other people, and it's fun. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. I would go. If I didn't know about it, I would go.
That's excellent. Well, thanks for sharing, Angie. I think that's pretty much summarized who's going to come, anyone and everybody. And it really is the people that are on the journey, those who feel called to service, those who are here because they know they're here for something bigger than just themselves in this lifetime. It really is an instant family of like-minded souls. And no matter where you're at, if you're a guru healer, come and be in the community that you've been looking for. If you're new and curious and intrigued about all this magic and healing, then come and learn it and be in a space and place where you can consolidate that and really understand it. So there's just so much to benefit from being here. We really encourage you guys to come and check that out with us. In terms of HealersFest costs, so HealersFest cost for the 3 days is $997. And to actually, for those who are on this webinar or listening to the replay, we're doing a very special code that's going to get you $500 off. So we really hope that you guys can take advantage of that. It's only 25 places. We're predicting that this is going to fill up in the space of the next, probably couple of days, if not anything else. This is the first time we've actually talked about this with our communities. Both Angie and I have a fairly large community of people that we love to share with, and we're really hoping that you guys who are here can take advantage of that and be part of this great connection. I know, the spots will fill up very quickly, so please jump in and don't muck around so you don't miss out. Which means it's going to be $497 for you guys listening today. That's you can't even get a weekend with food and accommodation for that, but that includes absolutely everything from all your healing experiences that you have with connections with shamans, each personal time with myself, with Angie, with shaman that are there. All your food, all your accommodation, like sleeping outside in the stars, in teepees with campfires and singing and dancing, and a new family and connection. Like, it's just ridiculously cheap to be able to come and have this experience, and we want to try and keep it that way for everybody here. So it's usually $997. Please take advantage, guys. There's a link where you can get that right now. And if you need the promo code is Numinatus. Numinatus is the promo code Numinatus if you need that. So guys, listening here today, you have a link. It's $497. For anyone else, it's going to be $997. So please come and see us and hang out with us. It's, again, incredibly, it's just an incredible way for you guys to connect. I'm really excited about you guys coming to join us for that. I'd love to also just mention here, I guess, is there anything more you'd like to add, Angie, on why people should come? I think from my end, it's just really, we just want to get a great community together of people who want to learn from us, who want to learn with us. We're all on this amazing experience together. I love sharing my gifts and my knowledge and my wisdom that I've learned over the years. Many of us have wisdom and insight well beyond our years that we really understand and really want to share with as many of you guys and help you activate or help you with your gifts if you're just figuring that out, or if you've got gifts for a long time, to come and be in that community again. So there's so much in terms of the way that we navigate through our mind, the way that we actually have our connections with our spirit, which is a really powerful place, again, with the Ozarks. And I'm just really excited to be able to actually be in the public in this kind of setting for the first time in my realms. As most people know of me, I talk a lot in the science and medicine areas, which I do regularly, but this is something I'm really, really passionate about and love sharing this with people. So Angie, is there anything else you want to add on that for HealersFest? Otherwise, if there's any questions, guys, please post them in the chat box. There's a chat box just on the side that we can answer. We can hit up any of the questions or answer any of the stuff that you've got. We want to try and keep this webinar fairly brief so that people can keep on moving. And of course, we'd love to answer anything that comes up here or in chat afterwards. If there's any questions you have around this, you can email us at support@numinatus.org. I'll pop that in the chat box in a minute, support@numinatus.org for any of your questions that you have around this as well. So Angie, I'll throw it over to you for anything else you want to add or any other reasons that we'd love to encourage people here to come and join us and be part of this community. For me, I always see it as this really exciting time where it's the foundation community that's really coming together, and that excites me a lot. I know what is in the future, or I see what a lot of the things that are coming, and I'm really excited to be able to have this really amazing type family that's going to be joining us. And I really hope that that you guys listening to this is one of those people that I can really connect with and get to know a lot better on this journey that we're sharing.
Yeah, I would just like to add one last thing about when we plan HealersFest, it's with the intention of providing an atmosphere that you're not normally put in. And it's an atmosphere where you can practice using your extra sensory abilities, because we're so used to just going through our daily life, and all that we're used to focusing on or looking at is what we see with our physical eyes, what we can hear with our physical ears. And so we kind of shut out all that is beyond that. And we shut out, looking deeper, looking, closing our eyes and seeing, well, what else is there? Using our extra senses to tap in. And so that's like one of the most exciting things to me, is that we can have this weekend together where we're constantly focusing on spirit, on what's beyond, what's deeper, what's more, what else is there for us, what other information is there for us to pick up on that we're not normally used to redirecting and tapping into. And to have someone there with you that's constantly pointing you, say, okay, well, look deeper. Okay, well, close your eyes and do you see any colors around there? It's like you're constantly reminded to look into and connect to your extrasensory gifts. And that's how you practicing them opens them. And so, yeah, that's the only other thing I wanted to add. I'm very excited about that, is to just have, because where do you find that? Like, we live in this society where that's not even accepted as normal. So we're not trying to be normal. We're trying to be extraordinary. So we want to use all of our minds. And if there's parts of our minds that we're not using that we can actually open, we want to provide that atmosphere for you to explore that and to grow that and to be safe and feel safe to explore that. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Angie. Well, I just wanted to, Teague has just put a message down here while we're chatting. Teague was here on the last HealersFest, actually. And so Teague just said, I left with, I hope you don't mind me reading this out, Teague. I left with deep connections between other healers, an expanded mind, open heart, deeper sense of trust in the divine, tools for dealing with the lower, higher selves, confidence in natural extrasensory experiences, new extrasensory experiences, guidance and community, and a lot of new questions. Smiley face. So thanks Keith, for your beautiful comments. And this is a great example of what HealersFest will allow for you. And I'm just really, really excited to be able to actually have this webinar talking about this today. I'm really, really excited to be able to see a lot of you guys there with us. I'm really excited to be able to heal alongside you guys. I'm really excited to be able to actually be personally involved in some of your healing or the expansion, and to learn with you guys and help with those experiences as we shared. So thank you so much for all being here today. I know this has been a fairly short and sweet webinar. You can click on, again, Numinatus.org/HealersFest. There's a link on your right. Please click it, will take you there. Otherwise, there's a link in the chat box that you can see as well. So please go and check that out. And just before we wrap up, there's been questions, or a number of different questions we've had throughout for people about a program that we have that's called Mini Magicians. And I just want to talk about that for 2 minutes. If anyone is interested, please stick around for that. It's a pretty incredible program that we have together, and something that I'm super excited about, and I know Angie's as well. And so I'm just going to talk about that just for a couple of minutes, and give you guys a link to find out more if you want to. The Mini Magicians program is something that's really created to allow a lot of the flow of divine knowledge and insight and wisdom and understanding for people, or for those who are ready, like right now, to receive, to experience, to transform, and to share what they know. This is something that, again, I've received a lot of gifts over my years, and a lot of this insight and knowledge that I now need to pass on to a lot of people. And I'm in that space where I'm really ready and excited to be able to share that with a lot of people. Well, actually not a lot of people, a very small amount of people, but that's something that I'm really, really excited and really passionate about this. This is a program where we've only got a very, very small intake of people. They're going to be able to be in this program. And there's 4 main sort of learning or experience, I guess, avenues in the program itself. It's a 12-month program called Mini Magicians, and we go through a lot of different things. We have weekly calls. There's 4 contact sessions each month. We go through a lot of, like we have a magic call each week. We have, we have a magic call once one of the weeks. We have a live magic session with interactive stuff each. The second week, we have healing circles the third week, and we have a lot of, we have an individual personal healing and treatments sessions with you on the 4th week. And so each week we're doing a lot of very regular contact time. We have gatherings that we have throughout the year. We have 4 live calls, like healing calls with Angie each month, looking at how to navigate through the mind and many other different aspects of emotional intelligence and many other things that we'll talk more about. We have 2 live healing retreats each year, where we have people that come with a whole range of different things that you see, from cancers to muscular dystrophy to suicides and other things, where we actually go through and heal that. Have incredible results with people who come with cancer and leave without cancer in the space of 7 days, which we're really excited about to be involved in that healing process and to be able to share that with you guys and help teach you guys that. We have community gatherings each year, which we have 4 of those throughout the world that we're really excited about, from Bali through to Ozarks and everywhere in between. We have some virtual gatherings as well, which we're all part of, and a lot of incredible healers that are part of this community. And so this is something that we're, between Mexico, Bali, between Ozarks, and Australia, many other places, we're really excited to be able to share that. We have field trips that we go on each year too, which is like a spiritual quest that Angie and I and others share, that we invite you guys to come on the journey with us. Some of the places that we have as location options for this coming year is, or this coming year from now through to 2017, is ancient Egypt, looking at Jerusalem, Italy, ancient Mayan civilizations, and places like that, where we really go on these field trips to learn a lot more and experience a lot of the cultures that's there. But just sharing a little bit more about the actual curriculum, if you like, over the 12 months that we go through. There's different modules each month, and I'm just going to quickly talk about each of the modules for those. And the first module that we look at is on the mind. We talk a lot about and learn a lot about and experience a lot about beliefs, about consciousness, about subconsciousness. We cover a lot of different tools like hypnosis and hypnotherapy to open and heal the mind. We talk a lot about understanding higher and lower selves in a spiritual perspective and an observer perspective. We talk about different techniques and other things with reframing, creating new memories if there's existence of trauma, how to anchor different things together like that, to be able to really change perception and perspective in the world, looking at expectations and acceptance meters, so for what shows up for you consciously, lots of different meditations and many, many other things on the mind. It's an extremely mind-blowing month on the mind, so to speak. and that's really exciting. The next month or the next module we've got on emotional intelligence, where we look at a lot of different things about love, about understanding, about harnessing, about healing, about being, about existing, about happiness, about peace, and a lot of other emotions, and how to navigate our way through that, how to be in control of that, and how to determine what shows up in our reality and how we can actually dictate our future and our existence at any point in time. We have the third module that's on the actual physical body, or a physical vehicle itself, where we look at the understanding and the applications of more of the science and medicine components of it. We look at a lot of the personalized biology and physiology that exists. We look at different powerful foods and power foods for brain and health, and pineal gland openings and all these sorts of crazy things. We look at the endocrine system and the chakra system correlations between what we know in the physical body, what we know in the energetic and spiritual realm. We correlate a lot of the different organs and emotions for healings, and many, many powerful things with the physical body understanding, which for those who know a little bit about me or the work we do with PH360, it's a really extremely powerful way where people are having phenomenal experiences with that understanding. Then talk about the next module that's looking at nature versus nurture, so a lot of the environmental interactions between us, between human and nature. We just ran a really powerful webinar last weekend, maybe with Lynn Twist and John Gray and Marcy Scheimoff and John Perkins, looking at the conversation actually between the environment and humanity and the links between this. So we talk a lot about, in this month, about earth chakras, about animal medicines and totems. We go through different things like crystals and rocks and supportive healing items and modalities, the nature energetics, the spirits and things like that, which is a really, really powerful month as well. The next month, we're looking at ancient wisdom and healing, looking at a lot of different cultural and ancient medicines, a lot of different ancient civilizations and different beliefs of those, and how evolution has been over time. We look at shamanic medicine and many other really powerful ancient insights and wisdoms. So that's a really powerful month that I always really excited about. The next month we talk about, or the topic and the experiential side of things is universal knowledge, and that's where we learn a lot about spiritual laws, laws of attraction, many other things, but a lot about chakras, about colors, about karma, many other things to do with the universal side of our existence. The month after that's about metaphysics, where I can't remember what month we're up to, about 7 or 8 or something like that right now, but we talk about, this is starting to get into the interesting side of life, outside of the current day experience, where we talk about multi-dimensional existences and connections, a lot about consciousness, about dream interpretation, paranormal investigations and other things like that, which is really looking at delving into a bit more of what we often don't think about in current day life, but we now have a lot of science and great evidence to show that it's real and exists. It's not these woo-woo topics anymore. It's the same understanding and connection that a lot of us have been able to experience, but we can now have a good conversation, put language to it, which is really exciting for the rest of the world and humanity. So that's really cool. The next month we talk a lot about extrasensory experiences, and again, for those who are part of the Mini Magicians program, all the HealersFests that we have actually twice a year are going to be included as part of this. This is all just part and parcel of what happens. The extrasensory experiences, looking at your specific personal gifts and abilities, looking at intuition, looking at finding and connecting with your guides, looking at things and topics of interest like telepathy and clairvoyance, topics of deja vu, astral traveling and projection, distance healing, remote viewing, bilocation, mediumship, empathy, a lot of those sorts of topics that are very fascinating, very intriguing, and very accessible. We love to be able to help navigate you through experiences and learnings with those areas. The next month we look at Numinatus energetics. Numinatus is, for those of you guys will see that, Numinatus actually is a name that came to us, which we had no idea what it meant, and when we actually looked up the meaning, it was something that refers to gathering of divine beings. And so that's the name of this community that we're growing a lot now. And there's a lot of big things on the cards that we'll talk about another time, not in this conversation. But Numinatus energetics is what's sort of behind all of this, and that really refers to healing at its bare level. We talk about healing techniques and modalities that exist. We're going to go through a lot of different techniques and modalities that are interesting, that are navigations. They're usually there as interpretations of someone's information where they can apply it and learn it. But we'll help you navigate a lot of different healing techniques and modalities so that you can apply what works for you. We'll also give, this is where we talk a lot about the clinical skills or coaching side of things, because a lot of the healing we do is interactions with other people. It's important to understand the different neurotypes that you're resonating with, so that you can actually get the outcomes that need to happen for that person at that point in time, or that group of people. We'll talk a lot in here about, in the Numinatus energetics, about vibrations, healing with vibrations, with sound frequencies, We may or may not talk about different topics like exorcisms and other things like that, especially things like grounding and shielding, protecting yourselves, and techniques and EFT and many, many other things like that. So that's a really powerful month where we go through the healing side of things for those that are here for that. The spirituality and divinities, another module, which is the 10th, which is really starting to understand the spiritual realm, looking at interesting conversations about God versus universe, about angels and saints, about passion and purpose and mission, all those sorts of things. So it's a very, by the time we get to this, it's a very enlightening step forward on the journey. And that's really cool. The 11th month, we talk about time and space, and we experience a lot of that, which is really incredible for those who've been in that realm before. We'll go through a lot of the concepts about electromagnetic fields, and we'll talk about cosmic grids and a lot of space-related conversations that some find interesting. And I can see many that are on this hangout right now that are quite interested in those sorts of topics that we'll get to when we get to that, which is great.
Okay.
The last topic that is there is the future of humanity. And this is something that's really close to my heart. This is something I'm very called to be involved in. And I'm very lucky to work with, for those who know, very lucky to work with a lot of the leaders and big influencers in the world these days, which is great to be able to help direct where we're going. And we talk a lot about, in this module, talk and learn and experience about prehistoric human existence. We'll spend some time actually in the past. We'll talk about the evolution of humanity and understanding, experiencing the evolution. We'll talk about and learn about the current human life experience, and also the future of humanity. So our roles, our duties, our impacts that we can have moving forward. And that's something that's really, really exciting to me. So that's a very brief overview. I thank you all for being able to make it through, listening to me for the last 5 minutes, just ramble on about that. But it's interesting content anyway. You can listen to the replay if there's a lot I just covered there. A lot of interesting content. This is the Mini Magicians program. For those who just joined late, that we're talking about, this is an intensive, very intensive program specifically for those who are ready for this as their next step in their life right now. This isn't something just that you want to join. This isn't something actually for many people to join. They're very, very limited places. This is for people who are extremely ready. Their time is right now. They're extremely clear on it. They're ready to receive. They're ready to experience. They're ready to transform. They're ready to share with humanity. They're very clear on why they're here on this earth. And there's only very few people that we're going to be talking about this with and going through this. This is 100% personal time with myself and Angie and many other powerful healers that will be involved in this. And I'm really excited about it, and just wanted to share that. I know I've had a lot of questions about that on this. This so far. We haven't got any links or anything like that to you guys, but if you want to go check it out, again, if you go to numinatus.org / let me just see something / mini magicians. I think numinatus.org / mini magicians. I'll type the link in a minute in this chat box so that you can go and check that out as well. And there's an application process for there. The process itself, this is extremely incredible at the moment. The process, the actual full 12 months at the moment, is going to be around $25,000 that we're looking for. The first one that we're running is actually starting in mid-September this year. This is the first one that we're going to run. And as we're running that, we're going to actually do that for $997. So that's going to be just under 10 grand, which is ridiculous. Like it's so affordable over 12 months to be able to do that. If you want to do payment plans, whatever, that's fine. But we really encourage you guys, if you're at that point, if you're listening to this, if it's you or if it's someone you know, please apply because both Angie and myself are very, very clear on the fact that we have a lot of wisdom, a lot of insight, a lot of gifts, and a lot of abilities to be able to share. And we're really looking for mini magicians to be able to hang out with us and spend some personal time with us and to be able to learn from us and learn with us so that we can share this in a bigger capacity for what's coming in the future. So I'll hand over to Angie to add anything else onto that. That's the logistical side of things from me. And Angie, if you want to share maybe a little bit about what you're excited about with Mini Magicians and about whatever you want to share about Mini Magicians, and then we can let everybody go on with their merry days.
I don't know what I'm excited about. One of the things I love most besides learning is teaching. And I love to teach other people and watch them grow in what they're here to do. And I love to watch them have their aha moments where they get it. And all of these things, oh my gosh, that whole list just makes me so excited for the year to just be able to really dive into all those topics and just pull out all the really good parts and have these experiences together and share what we've learned and share what we feel about each thing or what we think about each thing, and just being curious together. And I'm so very excited about that. Every one of those topics is things that I've researched. I've you have no earthly idea how many hours I've poured over all of those things, just because out of curiosity, because I want to know. And so I'm so excited about sharing the understandings that I have on those things and the insights that I've received from meditating on them, or from receiving, and many of you probably, like me, receive some channeled information as you write. So I'm very excited to share what I've learned over my own personal journey, and then to also learn more. Like, we're all going to learn more about this together, and we're going to grow together. But it's just everything about that is everything that I love, and I could just lose myself in it. And so I know a lot of you listening are probably the very same way. So to be able to join together and do this together, that excites me the most. Just to have, like, a team that we're doing it together. Yeah, anyway, I'm done.
Thanks, Angie. I think your excitement speaks for itself. So
yeah,
we are just super excited, super passionate. For any of you guys who've spent actual personal time with myself or Angie, then you'll know how much we'd just love to give. We're just here to give, to share, to help you experience whatever you need to experience on your journeys. And that's 100% why I'm here on this planet. I'm very clear on that. And so is Angie. And so we just are here to share our experience, our gifts, our abilities with you guys, and to be able to help you on your journey, no matter how that looks, so that you can go and help others on their journeys. So, and on that note, guys, we're going to wrap up this call. There's a quick question here from Karen. If there's any other questions, guys, now's the time to throw them in there. Karen asks, if we can't get there this time for HealersFest, do you have plans for maintaining that community and support for like-minded people outside of the HealersFest? Absolutely, Karen. It's called Numinatus. Please send us a message if you haven't registered anything at all with Numinatus, but numinatus.org is where you can find out about this, guys, for this community. HealersFest is a very close community of healers, obviously. So send us a message. You can send us an email to support@numinatus.org if you haven't already connected with us officially. And otherwise, those links again on the right-hand side. So HealersFest, so it's numinatus.org/HealersFest, and it's numinatus.org/mini-magicians. That are the links to check out, guys, for that. So again, for being on this webinar today, the HealersFest is $9.97 for the 3 days, with everything included: food, accommodation, healer experiences, sweat lodges, healers with healing experiences, personal time with myself, Angie, Shaman, like everything is $9.97. It's crazy. And for being here for this webinar, we want to do that for $500 off. So it's $4.97 for the 3 days. It's ridiculous. There's only 25 places, so please do it, because I know that it will fill up probably in a couple of days. So please jump on it. If you have, there's an application form to fill out. Again, we want to make sure we have the right people around us. So please jump on that. And if you have friends or other healers that you're very close with that you think should be there, then make sure you let them know. We are going to be very, very strict on the places this time around. So it's something we see a community growing in the future, but we really want to have this founding community around us soon. So hopefully that will be you guys, and we'd love to see you there and have that personal time together. So Karen, thank you for your question. I hope that answered that. I'm just quickly scrolling through. I don't think there's any other questions there at the moment. So without taking up any more of your time, guys, thank you so much for making the time to be here. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening to the end of this. And we're just super excited and passionate to share this journey with you and to help you experience what you're here to experience this lifetime. So thanks again from the bottom of my heart for being here with me and with Angie for this session.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And we look forward to connecting with you guys soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.